What is your name, please?
My name is Ted Geisel.
Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Oral Reports. Now today, we're going to go back to the world of my childhood favorite author, Ted Geisel, aka Dr. Seuss. I previously blogged the Lorax from 2012 and put the live-action Grinch movie on my top 25 holiday films. And because my musical Theater Village friends are performing Seussical this summer, where I perform as the Grinch, and General Genghis Khan Schmitz, I decided to blog 2 different Dr. Seuss films that made it to the big screen. Now, to start things off, let's talk about a character that became Dr. Seuss's mascot, the Cat in the Hat. You see, in 1957, things changed for Dr. Seuss. John Hersey of Life magazine challenged Dr. Seuss to write a primer for classrooms. So, Seuss took the dare and wrote a book that kids could read with 225 basic words. And after 9 months, The Cat in the Hat was born. The book sold 250,000 copies in the first year, and that story gave Dr. Seuss the confidence to leave the ad world and become a full-time writer. A year later, the cat got a sequel story called The Cat in the Hat Comes Back. He even appeared in several other Seuss books, like I Can Read With My Eyes Shut and Daisy Head Maisie. It wouldn't be until 1971 when the cat got his own animated TV special based on his own story. And after that, appeared in The Grinch's The Cat in the Hat, as well as a couple TV shows like The Wubulous World of Dr. Seuss, and The Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that. Now, I might get a lot of hatred for saying this, but the subject I'll be blogging today is a live-action adaptation that I heard not only got tons and tons of hatred, but also made Dr. Seuss's widow, Audrey Geisel, ban all of her husband's stories from live action. But the question is this: do I still enjoy it even if tons of folks hate it? Well, let's find out. Released on November 21st, 2003, the movie is, well, The Cat in the Hat. Now, this film follows the adventures of Conrad and Sally Walden, a young brother and sister who find themselves visited by the titular mischievous cat and his entourage when their mother leaves them home alone. The family's pet fish objects to the cat's presence, but that doesn't stop the hat-wearing giant feline from trying to have fun, no matter what destruction is left in his wake. So, my thoughts? Well, it was weird, zany, hilarious, a tad crude, and overall absurd. Did I enjoy it? Well, yeah. In fact, this movie is one of my top 13 bad films that I like. But, in order to explain more information, let's move on to Mustang Notes. DreamWorks acquired rights to the original book in 1997. However, production did not originally start until after the 2000 Christmas film How the Grinch Stole Christmas's commercial and critical success. When production began, songs written by Randy Newman were dropped because they were deemed inferior. Then later, Randy Newman's cousin, David Newman, composed the score for the movie. Although Welch and a publicist for Myers denied it, several people said Myers had considerable input into the film's direction, telling some of the cast how to perform their scenes. Prior to filming, giant props for the film were stolen from the set. Local police found the props vandalized in a mall car park in Pomona, California. The props were covered with graffiti. No arrests had been made, and filming was to start the next week. Principal photography took place mostly in California from October 2002 until January 2003. The neighborhood and the town center were filmed in a rural valley near Semi Valley, where 24 houses were constructed. The downtown area outdoor shots were filmed along a Pomona Street, where a number of antique and gift shops were located. The community decided not to redecorate after filming ended, so the surreal paint scheme and some of the signage could still be seen as it appears in the film. Because of so much smog in the area, the sky had to be digitally replaced with the cartoon-like sky, and colors of the background had to be digitally fixed. Now, while I do enjoy this movie, of course I cannot say it doesn't have its flaws. The movie is not really perfect or a masterpiece. The things I do enjoy are the cat's musical numbers, the cupcake cooking show, the dance party scene underneath the town square where everyone wears red and white striped hats and outfits, and of course the cat's car, known as the Super Luxurious Omnidirectional Whatchamajigger, or SLOW for short. But the things I don't like are some gross out, crude, and sex humor, including curse words which, thank God, are censored. Now, let's move on to the cast and characters. Our title character, the Cat in the Hat, was originally going to be played by Tim Allen, but because of his conflicts with Santa Claus 2, the cat was instead given to Mike Myers, known for the Shrek franchise and the Austin Powers franchise. Now, unlike Matt Frewer's cat from In Search of Dr. Seuss, who served as a tour guide, this cat is a huge anthropomorphic wisecracking cat with a Brooklyn accent who wears a really special hat which reveals many unbelievable abilities, such as a CD player, a voice changer, an airbag, a periscope, a box of tennis balls, even a place to put the thing's box into when it shrinks. He likes to balance things while he's on a ball, like in the book, and he's really hilarious. He often makes mistakes, like calling the kids other names. Fun fact, the cat costume was made of Angora and human hair, and was fitted with a cooling system. To keep Mike Myers cool during the outdoor shoots, a portable air conditioner was available that connected a hose to the suit between shots. The tail and ears were battery operated. Now, since I pretty much mentioned all my favorite scenes that the cat is involved with, the other things that I like is that he has 3 lawyers who randomly appear sometimes, and has a phonometer which measures how fun you are. For some reason, that device almost makes me think of Mary Poppins' tape measure. Now let's move on to the kids, starting with Conrad, played by Spencer Breslin. Known for being Cubby in Disney's Return to Neverland, and Curtis in the Santa Claus sequels. Conrad is mostly a destructive and misbehaved boy. As a running gag, the cat constantly calls him names other than Conrad, due to his lack of name in the original book and TV special. Now, despite being a rule breaker most of the time, I find him to be a pretty smart kid. Next we have Conrad's sister, Sally, played by Dakota Fanning, known for being in Coraline, Charlotte's Web, Lilo and Stitch 2, and the Twilight franchise. Anyway, Sally is a dull, well-behaved, and rule-obeying little girl. The things I like about her other than being a well-behaved little tyke, is that she's really adorable, and she looks out for Conrad. But the downsides to her is she's a control freak, and the fact that she chews tobacco, which is really unhealthy for a girl that young. Next we come to the cat's sidekicks. Thing 1, played by Danielle Churchran and Taylor Rice, and Thing 2, played by Brittany Oakes and Talia Lynn Prairie. But they're both voiced by Dan Castellaneta, known for being Homer Simpson in, well, The Simpsons. God, I hate that show. Anyway, these two are similar yet different from the book. They did speak a few words in the book, but here they mostly speak gibberish, and their hairstyle is a tad off. But they're still the lovable troublemakers they are in the story. Plus, I like the part when Conrad calls them for help using reverse psychology. And I find it interesting that the box they came from is a transdimensional transportalator, and if it's kept open for too long, it'll create the mother of all messes. Next is the family fish, voiced by Sean Hayes. Now, like in the book, the fish is a character who knew it's not a good idea for the cat to be there while the kid's mother was out. Fun fact, Sean Hayes found the role significantly different from his usual on-camera jobs. He did not know how the final animation would look, and all of his work took place alone in a sound booth. Next up is the kid's mom, Joan Walden, played by Kelly Preston, whom I remember as Jetstream from Disney's Sky High. Joan is a workaholic real estate agent who works for Mr. Humberflube. She has been chosen as a hostess for a meet and greet party and has set up rules for her kids to try to keep the house clean, otherwise she'll get fired. Our villain, Larry Quinn, the Walden's pompous, lazy, unemployed next-door neighbor, is played by Alec Baldwin, known for being in films like Rock of Ages, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and Rise of the Guardians. He is revealed to be a guy who's allergic to cats and steals food from the Waldens and gets away with it. Also, he's determined to both marry Joan for her wealth and send Conrad away to the military school in order to straighten up his behavior. Now, I've already mentioned that I play a military general on stage. However, in reality, as long as I'm autistic, I'm safe from ever being in the military or even being drafted. Now, the last character I need to talk about is Nevins, the Walden's family dog. In the book, this dog doesn't exist, but in this film, he's a dog who runs away loose whenever he's left out of the house. Now, it's time to move on to my final words. Overall, The Cat in the Hat is not a great movie, but I still find it very entertaining. While I do applaud it for being a hilarious comedy and giving good morals to the kids, some parts were just crude, silly, embarrassing, or unnecessary. And the writing could have been done better, though. Several of the acting and the sets were pretty good, to say the least, and the songs, in my opinion, are really fun. So, my rating for this film would have to be a 59% out of 100. It's not exactly a good movie, but I'd be willing to watch it more than once if I want to. Well, that's it for today, everybody. But I'm not done yet. Join me next time when we take a look at the first full-length CGI Seuss film, Mustang Power.
Come along with me in search of Dr. Seuss. We'll try to catch him if we can. He's out there on the